Hello everybody, my name is Paige. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to show you the books that I hauled in April. I hauled 12 physical books in April and I want to show you what they are, so let's go ahead and get started. The first one is In a Holidaze by Christina Lauren. This is their newest book as of today because I don't think their newest one has come out. They're having another one coming out this month, but this was their Christmas story and I have not read it yet. I just recently got it, so I am looking forward to reading it. This sounds so fun. This is about a girl who is trying to start over. So the heroine is living with her parents and she hates her going to her job and she's just made a romantic error. And so she is leaving her favorite place in the world, the snowy Utah cabin where she and her family have spent many holidays. And the next thing she knows, she's in an accident and everything goes black. When she wakes up, she's back on the plane, bound for Utah, where she begins the same holiday all over again, and it keeps happening. So I guess it's like a Groundhog Day type situation, but it's where she spends the holiday with her family, and I'm sure the romantic error that she made, she will have a chance to fix. So this sounds actually really cute. I don't really know. I don't remember if this was a well-loved book or not, but I am willing to try it. The next one I got is one that I have not planned to read. It is not one that I thought that I was ever going to read, but I saw it in the bookstore. I was at one of my used bookstores near where I live. I saw it and I'm like, it's Colleen Hoover. I have to get it. Maybe I'll read it. I know a lot of people liked it. This is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I am just really typically just a romance reader, and this is more of a thriller, but I think I'm going to give it a shot because I just couldn't pass it up. This is about a girl who accepts this writing job because this man's wife was a writer and she didn't complete her last book or whatever she was writing. So she is hired to finish the book. So she arrives at the Crawford home ready to sort through years of Verity's notes and outlines. And what she doesn't expect to uncover is an unfinished autobiography Verity never intended for anyone to read. She keeps the manuscript hidden from Jeremy, which was Verity's husband, and knowing its contents would devastate the already grieving father. This is a standalone romantic thriller, so I guess it still has some romance themes to it, but it is Colleen Hoover. I couldn't pass it up. The next one I have is Forbidden by Jacquelyn Frank. This is the first book in the World of Nightwalker series. So this is a spin-off series that she wrote, and this is the first book in it. And I still have yet to read Jacob from her, I guess that's just the Nightwalker series, but this is the World of Nightwalkers. And I still have yet to read Jacob, but I'm hoping to read it soon. But I saw this was Jacquelyn Frank and I'm like, you know, I've got to have it. So this is, the heroine is a secretary and she hurtles into a crashing crossroads and she quickly begins to suspect that things will never be the same. When a tall, blonde, muscular stranger intervenes on her behalf, telling her it is his duty to protect her at all costs, what is just a feeling turns to proof positive. That is, as long as her savior doesn't turn out to be a crazed kidnapper. When Ram finds Doshia, he has no doubt that she is his queen. But as this golden warrior sweeps in to protect her, he feels something more than body heat every time they touch. He is overwhelmed by a searing connection that goes deep into the twin souls inside of him. Oh, it sounds like fated mates. That is amazing. So I guess she's like the queen of his world and she has no idea. Ah, sounds so good. The next one I got is Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. I have read this one and it was amazing. This is a young adult book and the heroine of the book has had a very traumatic past. She has suffered trauma due to from her father. And she meets this guy at her school, and she runs past his house, and they start running together, and he starts to get to know her. And when he discovers who she really is, and I'm not going to say anything else than that, but it's pretty shocking. But he also discovers what happened to her, and it was pretty horrific what happened to her as a child, and her mind is kind of blocked all that, and so she kind of, you know, she doesn't really understand who she is fully. But this was an amazing book. And I also read the second book that follows this. I can't remember. I think it's Losing Hope. I think it's what it is, or Finding Hope. I don't remember, but anyway, this was a good book. I was so excited to find the next one. This is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I loved this book. I read it. I think I'm gonna have to read it again soon. Oh, this is about a girl who, she married her high school sweetheart, and they live a very adventurous life, and they get married, and one day he goes on a trip. She can't go with him. His plane goes down, and he is presumed dead. So, you know, she's heartbroken. She's, you know, she lost her love of her life. She moves back home, and after a few years, she falls in love with another man. She also knew him from high school as well. And then her husband comes back. He really didn't die. He was just stuck on this rock pretty much out in the ocean, and he survived, and now he's back, and she has to choose who to be with. Such a good book. It really deals with grief a lot. I love the quotes that are in this book. I love it. I was so excited to find this one. The next one is Bitterblue by Kristin Cashore. This is the third book in I think it's the Graceling realm or Graceling series. I don't know what the series is called, but this is the third book in the series. My favorite book in the series is Graceling, of course, but I saw this and I'm like, oh, I've got to have the books in the series because I really enjoyed this one a lot. This is a fantasy series, and this is about a girl her name is Bitterblue, and she was rescued by the heroine from the first book, Graceling, and now she's all grown up, and her father kind of destroyed her kingdom because now she's queen, and she kind of has to rebuild it, and it's pretty good. Not as good as the first one, but I really did love it. I really did love all the books in that series. There was Graceling, Fire, and Bitterblue. So the next three are free books that my library gave me. They put out free books every once in a while, so I always like to go through and see what is available. I got The Heiress by Jude Deveraux. Jamie is a knight, and he's elated when he is assigned to escort the Lancaster heiress to the castle of her betrothed. If only she will fall in love with Jamie, as Jamie's devoted older sister predicts. So his older sister predicts that he will fall in love with the Lancaster heiress. But he has to take her to her betrothed's house. So she's already engaged to somebody else. She is hell-bent on enjoying her precious moments of liberty before her marriage to a man chosen by her remote, eccentric father begins. After curtly informing Jamie not to bother declaring his love for her, she makes his life a misery, sneaking off to the marketplace, nearly breaking her neck on a runaway horse, and doing everything possible to delay the trip. She dreads being wed to a stranger. Suddenly, Jamie realizes that he savors even her most barbed words like the rarest nectar, that he is falling desperately in love with this bold, maddening beauty. That sounds pretty good. The next one I got from the library is Duchess in Love by Eloisa James. So Gina was forced into a marriage with the Duke at Girton at an age when she'd been better off in a schoolroom than a ballroom. Directly after the ceremony, her handsome spouse promptly fled to the continent, leaving the marriage unconsummated and Gina quite indignant. Now she is one of the most well-known ladies in London, living on the edge of scandal, desired by many men, but resisting giving herself to anyone. Finally, Camden has returned home to discover that his naive bride has blossomed into the toast of the ton, which leaves Cam in the most uncomfortable position of discovering that he has the bad manners to be falling in love with his own wife. That actually sounds really good. And the third one I got from the library is The Spitfire by Bertrice Small. This is, the year is 1483, and Lady Arabella Grey, young cousin of England's King Richard III, possesses a striking beauty and willful spirit that promises to dearly challenge any man. Too innocent to know that even the most handsome face can hide a blackguard's heart, she glories in her betrothal to Sir Jasper Keen, protector of Greyfair Keep, her ancestral home on the treacherous Scottish border. But as she speaks her wedding vows, the Scotsman Tavis Stewart, Earl of Dunmore, strides masterfully into the church, demanding his due for Jasper Keen's murder of his fiancée. Bold and brash, he spirits Arabella over the border as his hostage, never anticipating that she might fire his fury as easily as she inflames his desire. So she is being married to her betrothed, and all of a sudden, when they're in their wedding trying to speak their vows, the Earl of Dunmore strides in and says that he killed his fiancée, and so he takes her hostage. So I'm sure it's going to be their romance. The next book I got is Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. This has been on my TBR for a long time. I've heard it talked about before, and I am curious about reading it. Tally is about to turn 16, and she can't wait. In just a few weeks, she'll have the operation that will turn her from a repellent ugly into a stunning pretty. And as a pretty, she'll be catapulted into a high-tech paradise where her only job is to have fun. But Tally's new friend Shay isn't sure she wants to become a pretty. When Shay runs away, Tally learns about a whole new side of the pretty world, and it isn't very pretty. The authorities offer Tally a choice: find her friend and turn her in, or never turn pretty at all. Tally's choice will change her world forever. So this is about a world where, you know, you're ugly until you have the surgery to make you into a pretty. Sounds very interesting. It almost kind of reminds me of the Matched series. So not sure when I will read this, but I got it when I saw it. I'm also super excited about the next one. This is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I have had this one on my TBR as well for a long time. I cannot wait to read it. Hopefully I will read it soon. This is a modern fantasy about a forbidden love, an ancient and epic battle, and hope for a world remade. That doesn't really that doesn't really give much information at all, so it'll probably be best to go in blind anyway, but I'm really excited to read this one. I've heard lots of good things about this one. And the last book is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one was also another one that I was not planning on reading because things that I've heard about it, I know it is very well loved, but it just didn't sound like I would enjoy it. But it is Taylor Jenkins Reid. I saw it at my used bookstore, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to get it. At least I can try and see if I like it. I've loved everything I've read by Taylor Jenkins Reid, so hopefully I will like this one as well. They say this is kind of like a 60s inspired story. Yeah. So Daisy is a girl coming of age in LA in the late 60s. She's sneaking into clubs on the Sunset Strip, sleeping with rock stars, and dreaming of singing at the Whiskey A Go-Go. The sex and drugs are thrilling, but it's the rock and roll she loves the most. By the time she's 20, her voice is getting noticed, and she has the kind of beauty that makes people do crazy things. And getting noticed is the Six, a band led by the brooding Billy Dunn. On the eve of their first tour, his girlfriend Camilla finds out she's pregnant, and with the pressure of impending fatherhood and fame, Billy goes a little wild on the road. Daisy and Billy cross paths when a producer realizes that the key to a supercharged success is to put the two together. What happens next will become the stuff of legend. So I guess this is their romance, but it's very 60s inspired. So kind of looking forward to this one. I definitely want to give it a try. So let me know if you've read any of these books and if you like any of them. Let me know what your thoughts about them are. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.